Donald Trump may be a vile human being who despises immigrants. But let's give him points for consistency at least. He appears to despise all immigrants. Earlier this month, one of Joe Giudice's daughters started a petition that she hoped would make its way into the president's hands. This petition begged and pleaded for someone very high up to overturn her father's deportation sentencing, as a judge decreed back in October that Giudice had to be sent back to his native Italy permanently. This was his punishment for committing bankruptcy fraud as a non-US citizen. Giudice's lawyer has managed to delay the deportation for at least a little while, but Joe's family has been hoping that President Trump really might swoop in and save the day. Alas, he will not. According to a source familiar with the administration, the pardon request made on behalf of this admitted liar is not on the Commander-in-Chief's radar. This has not reached the White House, says an insider to People magazine, which notes that publicity alone does not carry a pardon request to Trump's desk. That may typically be true, as it probably should be. But it's understandable that the Giudices may have thought differently about this particular president. The source goes on to explain that Teresa and her kids simply asking for Joe to receive a break doesn't mean he'll get one. Moreover, thousands of people have through different means tried to bring different cases to the White House. The vast majority of them just don't warrant the decision. And it's really not clear why Joe would be an exception here. Both he and Teresa confessed in court to lying about their finances back when they filed for bankruptcy. They hid assets from the government and now they want the government to bail Joe out. How is that for irony? Joe finished a 41-month prison sentence in March for mail, wire, and bankruptcy fraud. His wife previously served 11 months of a 15-month sentence for fraud. They have made a mistake but rectified it through serving time and by finically satisfying all that was owed, Gia wrote in her petition, which has garnered more than 80,000 of its target 150,000 signatures. Joe was merely a small child when his family moved from Italy to America, but he never completed his naturalization to become a citizen here. Because of the crimes he committed, he is subject to deportation. And that does now appear to be his fate, despite Teresa spilling her heart out to a judge in a recent letter. Judge Ellington, my daughters need their father. They cry for him every day. I cannot bear the thought of my daughters losing their father, she wrote last week, adding, I am fearful that it will break them and that I alone will not be able to fix them. Judge Ellington, this is my greatest fear and it keeps me up at night. The fear that if I lose my husband, I will also lose my children, as they will never be the same. Joe and Teresa have 4 kids, Gia, 18, Gabriella, 14, Milania, 13, and Auditriana, 9. It does suck for them that their parents are so terrible. But they may eventually have a new man in the house anyway, someone who might set a better example than Joe has over the years. After all, Teresa has made it clear that she's ready to move on. She will file for divorce as soon as Joe is given the boot. I know exactly what happens. I'm sure he'll be with other women. It happens, Teresa said in early March, looking ahead to a future of her in America and Joe abroad. You do the long-distance thing, it's not going to work. I'd be like, bye-bye.